Hey everybody, today I'm going to go over Derek Trucks' solo over Layla when he played with Trey Anastasio and the Tedeschi Trucks Band. My original intent was actually to record my own solo over this, but while studying Derek's solo, I was inspired to create a tutorial video on how he came up with his lines. I'm still planning on releasing my own solo, but I just want to make sure I'm doing a really good job on it, so I decided to do a tutorial video on Derek's licks in the meantime. Also, if you've been enjoying my channel, please subscribe to view more content. I'm going to be releasing content weekly based on lessons, soloing, collaborating with other musicians, and lots of other good stuff. So please stay tuned. Alright, let's start by reacting to the video. Love those volume swells. Love that first note he comes in on. I really love how he's using that volume knob. So that's actually all I'm going to react to for now. I'll do so more in the coming weeks, but since it's such a lengthy solo, I'm just going to cover basically the first four rounds. So there's an A part, and there's a B part, and essentially the order of it is A, A, B, A. So real quick, some things to talk about are he's just using C major scale and a lot of C major pentatonic in there as well, based off those ideas. So really what it comes down to is just his sense of phrasing and rhythm that makes his solo so good, and it's impeccable as far as I can tell. But so let's just start from the beginning. Let's go back a little bit longer. A little bit more even. Alright, so right there, while the piano is doing his little introduction, Derek just does this real subtle lick, but it's real nice, and it's actually kind of serves as a basis for a lot of the other licks he uses throughout the solo. But it just begins, and I'm in open E, by the way, so I'm tuned E, B, E, G sharp, B, E. So the first note he hits, I'll go over the frets and then the intervals after, because knowing your intervals, I cannot stress enough, is super important and helpful. So we're starting on the second string, and we're sliding from the 8th fret to the 10th fret. And let me just listen to one more time. Alright, so he's going plucking into the 10th fret and sliding back to the 8th. So, or actually he's going. So he's plucking, sliding into the 10th, sliding back to the 8th, plucking the 3rd string at the 8th fret, doing a backward slide to the 6th fret on your 3rd string, and then plucking your 4th string at the on the 4th. The 4th string at the 8th fret. So, and then finally that last part, he's plucking the 3rd string again at the 8th fret, and sliding up to the 10. Sliding to the 8, back to the 6. Okay? So the intervals would be 6, 5, 3, 2, 1 or root. And second, 3, 2. So. Alright, so. And then, let me just make sure. 2. Alright, so on the end of 3, he starts adding a volume swell. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And he just holds it there, and he probably puts out about, 3 or 4, I would say. Because he increases it a little bit more when he jumps in the solo. You'll hear what I mean in a moment. Oh, actually, you know what? I think he just lets the note die out. And then he plucks the 8th fret and then swells into it. And he slides into that root again. So from the 8th to the 20th fret. So going from root to its octave up here. So, and how he plans that, how I'd go about it is with your volume swells, you always want to think a little bit ahead of when you pluck, because then you have to turn your volume knob in time as well. So you have to actually pluck before you intend to play. So in this case, he starts the volume swell on the 4th beat. So what I would do is I would pluck on the 3rd beat and then start swelling on the 4th beat. And that should give you enough time. So slow down, it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slide into it. And you notice how as I'm sliding into it, I'm actually tilting the angle of my slide, so it's only touching that 1st string. So, and then in the middle of me sliding up to it, I mute the 2nd string and up with my thumb and just slide into it. So slow-mo, it's 1, 2, 3. Kind of slid past there a little bit, but you get the point. Alright, so after, let's actually go back. Alright, so that first part, after he slides up into that root, he plucks, that's on the 1st string by the way. He plucks the 2nd string at the 20th fret, slides into your 22nd, and back into the 20th fret again. So that's going 5, 6, 5. And then after a moment of doing that, he slides back into the 22nd fret without plucking. And then he goes, plucks the 22nd fret on the 1st string, doing a backward slide into the 20th fret and plucking that. So then from there, he's doing a backward slide into the 17th fret, 15th, and then plucking there. So far we have and then after that we do a backward slide into the 13th fret, then the 12th fret, and we do a re-slide into the 12th fret. So those sort of things, where you're not quite sliding back into a new note, you're just kind of sliding into it continuously to give it that nice vocal-like effect. So yeah, the intervals would be 5, 6, 5, 2, root, 6, 5, 4, 3. So we have. All right, and then after that, let's go to the next part. All right, that's an awesome part. Let's see. All right, so right there, he's going, starting at the 8th fret, so I would consider this home bass right here, because you can play your C chord with your slide right here, so a lot of his let C basses around this general area. So you're just going the first string, 8th fret, which is your root, 10th fret, which is your 6th, and that's on the 2nd string. Then also on the 2nd string, playing your 5th, which is at the 8th fret. So you're going, or then after that, we're plucking our major 3rd, which is our 3rd string at the 8th fret. And what we're doing is we're doing a quick slide. So slow-mo, I think it's kind of like this. So, or let me try that again. And then we're going, so it's a cool little effect he likes to do that's very unique to his slide and kind of vocal-like phrases. So, and then from there we're plucking, well, we slide down to the root, which is at the 3rd string at the 4th fret. Then I pluck that and then go. So pluck the root, slide into the 2nd at the 6th fret on the 3rd string. Back into the 3rd at the 8th fret. And then we're just re-sliding into that 3rd. So, and he does that 3 times, I believe. So going, and then he does another thing which I explained in my B.B. King and John Mayer video that he does is he likes to slide into a note and then to add a nice soft touch to the end of the phrase. So he'll actually press down his first finger just to articulate that 2nd degree right there. It sounds real soft and nice. It's very subtle. So, all right. So let's move on to the next phrase. So again, very similar, except he just, I mean, very similar to that last lick, but instead he's actually leading in with a volume swell. So in this case, hold on. So I think he comes in on the 2nd beat there with his volume swell. So again, you know, you want to think ahead when you're plucking these volume swells. So I would pluck the beat before. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And that lick right there, after he does that volume swell, which is on the 3rd string going into the 9th fret. So you're going from your 3rd to your 4th. And once you slide into that, slide backwards into your 3rd again. And then pluck your 4th string at the 8th fret to play your root. So we have, and then from, yeah, after you pluck your root, you slide into the 2nd, which is at your 4th string 10th fret. And then plucking the 3rd at your 3rd string, 8th fret. So, and you pluck that twice, and the 2nd time you pluck it, you do another low shake here. And you just pluck that a few times, play your 6th degree at your 4th string, 5th fret, and then root. And let's see. I don't know why I really love that lick, even though it's super simple. But all he's doing is he's plucking the 2nd degree, the 2nd string at the 8th fret, which is your 5th interval, and then just playing your first string at the same fret, which is your root, and then plucking from your root, sliding into your second, plucking and sliding into your third, so, and then plucking your root, and not sliding into it, you're just going, let me try that again, fret it out a little bit. Alright. And then, right there we're doing fifth, root, and then sliding into the second, third, and re-sliding into our third. And after the second time we re-slide into that third, we slide backwards into the second. And on that first string, I believe that's all one pluck. Alright, so. Let's back up a little bit. Alright, so right there we're going. So it's a quick. So he technically starts on the root, but really that's just kind of like a pickup note going into your third right here. I guess maybe like a grace note would be a better way to describe it. So you play that on the second string at the 13th fret. That's your root, and then third. So it's, and I'm just doing that real quick between my thumb and first finger. And then after that I'm going. Let me listen to that. Okay, awesome. So after you go. So you just go fifth, fourth, third, second, and then at the same fret, 10th fret, second string, you pluck that, and then you pluck your first string at the 10th fret again and slide into the 12th, slide back into the 10th fret again. So that's 6, 2, third, 2. So that entire phrase is. Okay, yeah, he doesn't go down to the root. For some reason I thought I was hearing that, but it's does he do a slide? Okay, yeah, so he just plays that fairly straight, so it's. I believe afterwards he actually does pluck that second degree going into it and then sliding that third. But anyways, with all these licks, I mean, the general point is to learn from them and then form your own phrases off of them. And that sometimes that means adding a pluck where Derek didn't add it before. So not the end of the world. All right. Alright, so right there is a classic Allman Brothers lick. So you're just plucking the root on the second string 13th fret. And then you're going sliding into your fourth at the 13th fret on the first string. And you're just shaking that fourth degree. So, and after we shake on the first string, we play the root again, so it's. And then just slide into that second root. And then plucking into your third, so that's frets on the second string, 13, 15, 17. So, and after a moment, we just do a descending slide into the root again. So it's, and after we slide backwards into that root, we just pluck that twice. All right, again, another awesome Allman Brothers, like we're going. So right there, we're going on the second string, playing the 8th fret, which is our 5th. Then going to the first string, 8th fret, that's a root. And then plucking that again and doing another quick shake back and forth. So, all right. Oh, we actually don't start with our 5th. We just start with the root. So going. So. Yep. So root, and then plucking our major 7th, which is at the 7th fret on the first string, and just doing a shake back and forth. Then plucking your second string at the 8th fret, third string at the 8th fret, and then doing a shake between the 8th and 9th fret on the third string. So super slow, that's. Alright, let's move on to the next lick. Alright, so right there, we're just rephrasing the melody but an octave lower. So on the third string, we're going 8, 9, 11. So intervals major 3, 4, 5. So we're going. So 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4. Then we're plucking at the third, and we're doing a backward slide from there. And after we slide into our major second at the 6th fret on the third string, we're plucking that. So that entire thing is. And then from here, he does a really nice triplet lick. All right, really nice stuff right there. So that's a triplet lick he's doing, and how he's entering is super important because it's how he enters a lot of his phrases on this track and just kind of his style in general. One thing I find myself to do a lot that I don't like about my own soloing is that I tend to start my phrases on the downbeat, and that's something I've been trying to get in the habit of not doing. I mean, I've gotten a lot better, but it's still something I'm learning, especially from guys like Derek. But anyways, yeah, he's doing a triplet. So if we're thinking like in terms of a triplet, like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. So like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Hope that's not backwards with the camera, it's not flipped. But anyways, what he's doing is he's starting that phrase on the second or middle part of the triplet. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, da 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 da. So it's very important you don't start on the downbeat there, because that's gonna make your phrases basically kind of blend in with the rhythm section more, which that's not the idea. Oh my god. So that idea is to float over the rhythm section. So that's why you tend to start on the offbeats. Okay. So what he's doing there is he starts his phrase at the 10th fret on the 4th string, and then plucking that, and then on the 3rd string plucking 8, 9, that's intervals 3, 4. So we have, and then on the 2nd string we're doing 8, 10, that's intervals 5 and 6, and then plucking the root on the 1st string at the 8th fret, and then we're plucking. These are all individual plucks, by the way. We're not sliding into these notes or sliding out of them. So, and then after we get to our root, we pluck at the 10th fret on the 1st string, which is our major second, and we're sliding back into our root, and then doing the same thing, same frets on the second string. And then plucking our major, so that's our interval 6, 5, and then playing our major third right here. And we're going. So very similar to the first part. So that entire thing is, if I was to count out like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4. Let me try that again. I forgot that slide in the back. 1, 2, 3, 1. And that last part, I just want to make sure. So right there, after he goes to the root, he's going slide into the second, third, so frets 4, 6, 8 on the third string, and doing a re-slide into the 8th fret, and then sliding into the second. And let me just make sure, he kind of blends in with the, it's kind of lower in the mix, so it's kind of hard. Okay, yeah, so he does a backward slide into the second, so sliding in the third, back in the second, and then he ends on the root. So. Alright, so from there, he's just blending in with the rhythm section, just playing that melody line. So that's just on the second string, frets 13, 12, 10, 8, and intervals root, 7, 6, 5. So, and adding some real nice vibrato on that. And then this first phrase, really nice. Let's back up a little bit. All right, so what's so nice about that is so simple the way he comes in. He just plucks the root, and he doesn't actually have vibrato. So that's something I'm trying to get out of the habit as well, is being more aware of my vibrato. But he's just plucking at the 8th fret, then from there plucking and sliding it into the 12th fret. And what he does I love is after he slides into that 12th fret, which you're going from root to third, he lets that hang for a second without adding any vibrato. It's really nice. So it's... Then after a second of letting it hang, basically that last part before he plays the next note is when he starts adding vibrato. So it's not very long he adds that at all. And then from there... So plucking from the third, sliding to the fourth, and backwards sliding to the third, and then plucking. So, okay. All right, so right there we're going. So right there he's going 5th, 4th, 3rd, so just same thing as before. Let me just check the phrasing on that. Alright, what I believe I'm hearing anyways is he's sliding into that 5th at the 15th fret, and then re-sliding into it, and then doing a backward slide and plucking. And then going from the 4th to the 3rd, so. And then from there. So after we get to that 10th fret on the first string, we slide down to the 8th fret without plucking it, and then plucking the 2nd string at the 10th fret without sliding into it all, then going back to the root on the 1st string at the 8th fret, and we're going. So that's 8, 10, 12, 10, 8, 6. So combined with the other phrase, it's. So. Alright, so right there, plucking the root, sliding into, plucking the root, sliding to the 2nd, sliding, and then sliding into the 3rd. So root, 2nd, 3rd, sliding to the 2nd, and then plucking it and doing a slide between the 10th and 11th fret. And then after we do that shake at the 10th fret, go to our root, plucking the root, and then plucking our 6th degree, which is our 2nd string at the 10th fret, and then sliding to the 5th. So, or sorry. Okay. Ooh. All right there. So right there, we're plucking the root and going. So all one pluck at the beginning part. So 8, 10, 12. That's all one pluck. And then plucking and sliding into our 6th. And from there, 6th, 5th, 3rd. So if you didn't catch the frets on that, that's 8, 10, 12. Then the 6th would be 17th fret, 15th, and then 12th. So, all right. And then after that, let's hear that again. Okay, so plucking the root and then going, then root, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd, plucking that, and then sliding to the 3rd. So, and then. All right, so again, that same Allman Brothers lick from earlier. Let's see. All right, so there we're going 4th, shaking, plucking at the 3rd, doing that shake, root, then root, 2nd, 3rd, and 2nd. So we pluck after we go. We pluck that 2nd a few times, and then slide into that 3rd. So let me just play through it slowly. That will probably explain it better. So again. And then. All right, wow, that's a mouthful right there. So it starts with like an Indian style lick. So we're going. So what we're doing is we're sliding into our 6th, which is at the 17th fret on the 1st string. We're going doing a backwards sliding into it, then doing a descending slide. And on the way down, we're still doing a slide down, but we're plucking both our 12th, 10th, then 8th fret. So it's like, so. Alright, and then he goes into a run afterwards that's a mouthful. So let's listen to that again. Yeah, so it's very similar to the lick earlier, is after he goes, and then we're going plucking to the root, second, third, then backwards line. So root, second, third, second, root, and then plucking the 6th at the 2nd string at the 10th fret, sliding to the 8th, and then plucking our 3rd at the 3rd string, 8th fret, and doing a little slide. Then slide to the root and go. So that entire thing's. Let me try that again. So something like that anyways. I mean, with a lot of these licks, I'm not claiming I know them exactly. I'm just trying to explain the various techniques and scales he's using, and I'm just trying to explain how I think he is thinking, so you can form your own minds, hopefully, is the end goal. So anyways, that's it for the tune. Well, for that section anyways, I'm going to create more videos based on the same thing. Gonna finish out the rest of the solo, and also look out for my own original solo over this track as well. And if you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be releasing more content weekly like this in the future. Have a good day.